you know. Oh, there we go. We like seeing your faces if you want the cameras on, and if not, that's okay. But we do ask that you stay muted. If you have any questions during tonight's presentation, feel free to put them in the chat. There will be a question and answer period towards the end where we'll invite you to unmute at that point if you'd like to ask a question directly. And now I'd like to introduce Tracy McMahon, our current Vice President of the Board, and at the end of the meeting tonight, President. Tracy.
Thank you, Tom. So we wanted to start the meeting to take a moment to formally welcome our new board members. Kristen Lukin, who is on this call from Brandeis University, joined the board over a year ago in February 2020. But because we did not host the annual meeting last year due to the pandemic, she has not received a public welcome. Kristen is on our board's governance committee and is a member of the transition committee and scholarship task force, which you'll hear about more in a little bit. Gwen Pajasic from Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall, also on this call, joined the board in February of this year. And Gwen serves on the board's finance and sustainability committee and is also a member of the transition committee and scholarship task force. We would also like to thank a wonderful member of our community and former board member, Marina Page Bartley, who I saw, for all of her board work and continued support as an advisory council member. For the yearly annual meeting, we do have a member election that's part of the business portion. And prior to this meeting, the board voted to renew the terms of 3 board members, Mary Beth Kirsch, myself, and Tom Mail as the outgoing president of the board. And at this point, I'm going to pass you back to Tom.
Thank you, Tracy. We also have confirmed officers, and Tracy McMahon will be the new president of the board, and we're really thankful for that. And David King will continue on as treasurer, and Kate Tranquata will continue on as clerk. So over the next year, the board will be looking to identify a new vice president. We also want to thank very much our advisory council members, and you can see a long list there. Some of you are here tonight. Thank you so much. This program organization exists because of terrific partnerships, and thank you particularly to the advisory council members for your partnership, and we'll continue to look to expand our partnerships. And I'd now like to introduce one of our key partners, and that is the Superintendent of Schools for Waltham Public Schools, Dr. Brian Regan, who will discuss some upcoming initiatives. So Dr. Regan, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Tom, and thank you, Tracy, and all the rest of the board. And congratulations to the new board members and those that were reappointed. This is certainly your dedication to this is a huge part of the success of Waltham Family School, and we appreciate all the efforts that you continue to give to the families and students that are part of this wonderful program. So I last year when we were having these virtual meetings, I was hoping that we'd start this year off together, and I'm sure everyone shares that feeling with me that these virtual meetings are getting old fast, but I'm still hopeful that perhaps as the spring rolls around, we're able to get together in person. And I know you have some really exciting annual activities and fundraisers that come up. So my fingers are crossed that that as the year progresses, we see COVID numbers continue to go in the right direction, at least here in Massachusetts. And so that's of course a hope of mine, not just for WFS, but for the entire Waltham Public Schools community as well. So just briefly tonight, first of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to say hello. I want to just start by saying how thrilled we are that Jackie Herrera has joined the team. She has hit the ground running there at the Waltham Family School and has really been a great addition overall to our team in Waltham. And I'm really thrilled to have her and excited that she's on board, and she brings with her some wonderful experience as well as connections to community organizations and other partners that will really help, I think, enhance the opportunities for students and families at the Waltham Family School. So I know she's, dug right in and started to work hard, and she's got a lot of exciting things ahead of her, but I think we're very lucky to have her. And from the Waltham Public Schools side of things, I just wanted to acknowledge that and welcome her formally in this setting to the team. I know we'll have a chance to hear from Jackie in a little bit. From the school district's perspective overall, you may be aware that, of course, space continues to be a challenge for not just WFS, but any school program that's at 510 Moody Street. We are good tenants there, but as we continue to expand, it gets more and more challenging. So we do appreciate the city continuing to allow us space there, and the rec department for being so generous with their space. But over the summer, our facilities department did transition a storage room, which was a classroom size, back into a teaching space. I think they did a beautiful job in there, taking all of the storage out and sort of building out some soffits so that we could hide some of the piping and other sort of ugliness in the older building, and they really made it look welcoming and bright. And they've done some painting in a couple of other spaces, and they're still in the process of making sure that we have some adequate shelving up in one of the storage spots. So it's a work in progress, and we appreciate the patience of the staff as our facilities folks have worked to make that happen. So I want to thank John Pinzone and our carpenters and electricians and other members of our facilities department for helping to do the best we can with the square footage that we have for right now. And we're working on sort of long range plans that could involve some movement once Waltham High School at 617 Lexington Street becomes more or less vacant in the fall of 2024. So it'll give us a chance to have some sort of domino effect as we move programs around. And WFS, of course, will be a part of that overall discussion in terms of long range plans and where that program should be. I think 510 Moody Street is an excellent location, but as we think about where the dual language school might go, that might provide us with an opportunity to have a little more breathing room at 510 Moody Street for the Waltham Family School. But there are certainly other options out there that we will continue to discuss both internally and then with the board, so we can keep people aware of different options as they unfold over the next few years. And of course, mentioning that's one of the the bigger news pieces for the district. We continue to make progress on the new high school, which we're very excited about. And we have several other initiatives that are rolling along that it's nice to focus on things that are not necessarily COVID for a change. And so we've welcomed other new administrators. We have a new assistant superintendent for teaching and learning, who is just starting to sort of dig in and get a good sense of our curriculum and where we are K-12 or pre-K-12 with curricular efforts. And I'm pleased to say that as we continue our work, I'm hearing more people talking about our work through an equity lens, which I think is really critical. And those of you that are familiar with our district know that this is something that's been discussed for multiple years, but it seems to be becoming sort of a part of the foundation of the district more and more. And that's something that is really wonderful to see when you hear teachers and administrators and other folks within our organization always trying to bring us back to the idea of ensuring that our programs are equitable for all students and families. And it's an important part of our work. And so I'm pleased that's becoming sort of a centerpiece. And then the last thing I just wanted to make mention that will be exciting, that will start in January, is the district will embark upon the process of developing its next strategic plan. So we have a 5-year strategic plan that is set to expire in June of 22. And we will be working with a consultant who will be coming in and working with a team within the district to develop a new plan that will go in effect essentially in the summer of 22, and will be a 3 to 5 year plan from there. We haven't put the feelers out yet for volunteers for that team. We'll do that certainly in the coming weeks, but we'll be looking for an inclusive team that includes parents and students and staff members from across the district to come together to help us establish that new plan. And along the way, we'll have entry points for everybody in the community to weigh in and give feedback as we develop that plan, which should take the process about 6 months. And then that would leave us the summer to do some cleaning up and some final work there. So I probably talked much longer than Tom or Ann wanted me to, and I apologize for that. There's so much more that's going on every day in the district. But again, I appreciate this wonderful partnership we have. And Jackie and I were emailing, I think just yesterday and today, and trying to set up a time so I can get over there and see the Waltham Family School in action. I still have not got in when things were live and active, and so I'm looking forward to that now that we're back, boots on the ground, and everybody's in the classroom. So I will be there very soon to see our little ones interacting with our staff, and look forward to that. So again, thank you for giving me the chance to say hello this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Regan. The board appreciates your strong commitment to the Waltham Family School. It was great hearing about what's going on in the district. At this point, we're happy to share with you a video from the 2020-2021 Waltham Family School program year. Great. Now that you've had a chance to see what the Waltham Family School looked like last year, I just wanted to share some of the highlights from the work that the Friends have done in the past year. So with the Waltham Family School pivoting to virtual learning last year, there was a determined need for parents to have computers and internet access. We were able to bring together community members, advisory council, and board members to create a task force to fund Chromebooks. And a big shout out goes out to Alan Siving and Mike Chen, who were very helpful in moving this project forward. So thanks to the task force's hard work and dedication, we were able to purchase 30 Chromebooks and 22 hotspots with funding from Foundation Metro West, Melinda Y. King Fund, Rockland Trust, and an anonymous donor. So that was excellent to have happen this year. Another focus that we had on the board this year was preparing for and celebrating Britta McNamar's retirement and the onboarding of the new Waltham Family School Program Coordinator. To this end, we established a transition committee, including Waltham Family School staff, board members, advisory council members. Thank you, John Fresca and Katie Dowsett. And as part of the transition process, the committee participated in candidate interviews and developed a transition plan in concert with the school system and the Waltham Family School. Thank you, Dr. Regan. The board is overjoyed to have Jackie Herrera take the WFS Program Coordinator role, and we've been working with her to support a smooth transition. So you'll soon hear from her about her vision for the Waltham Family School. One other thing that we worked on, and as part of the celebration of the first 18 years of leadership, we initiated the Waltham Family School Scholarship Fund and received over $15,000 in donations in honor of Britta McNamar. The board is working on the details for the scholarship fund and expects the first 2 scholarships to be awarded in 2022. And we know many of you are interested in supporting this effort, so we will certainly be in touch soon. Lastly, I just wanted to mention that in addition to all these projects, there were a number of events to highlight during this year when we had to pivot also to virtual events. And we learned a lot planning the virtual fiesta, Waltham Family School graduation, the celebration for Britta. One of the things that we think is great is that the fiesta was our largest one-day annual fundraiser, and we raised almost $35,000 despite having to pivot to being a virtual event. So we are very excited at how well received these virtual events were, and we thank all of you that are joining us tonight for yet another virtual event and all of the continued support you show us when we run and host these events. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to Gwen to provide the financial report. And Gwen Projasic is the Chief Financial Officer at Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall School in Waltham. She serves on the Finance and Sustainability Committee within the Friends of the Waltham Family School Board, and she has offered a lot of support to the transition planning. Gwen's also a Waltham resident and has children in the Waltham Public Schools. And I would like to welcome her.
Thank you. I'm very honored to be here tonight to give you the story behind the numbers regarding the fiscal year 2020-21. So I wanted to start off by just giving you an overview of the revenue picture. And in 2021, our total revenues were just over 187,000. And I think the importance of this chart shows you the importance of this community and how it supports the Friends of the Waltham Family School. One of the things I'd like to highlight on here, which is a little bit different from previous years, is around 18% of our donations this year were for restricted purposes. And I think that shows that the initiatives that the family school have been doing, such as the scholarship fund and the Chromebook project, are things that we intend to carry on in future years to support students and graduates of the program. And when we look at the expense side, our expenses for the year were just under $93,000. Majority of the Friends expenses went to supporting development expenses, but you also see the Parent Technology Fund is another large area of expense for the past year. One of the things that's different about this year is that our actual expenses supplement was less this year because our program ran with less staff and had less students participating. And, we felt the effects of the pandemic pretty greatly. And we're really excited to be able to direct some of the funds that we have remaining into this year, where we are now fully staffed and our program is full. And we're super excited to be able to provide additional support in what is a challenging year for all of us. When we look at sort of the historical picture, we've kind of had some ups and downs. Our expenses have been pretty even, but one of the nice things in this year is our overall net assets has grown, which is different over the past 3 years. And then lastly, one of the pieces we wanted to share is just a little piece about where do our donors come from. I think this is really, really an interesting story because it shows you that the reach of the Waltham Family School is not just in the city of Waltham. We have support from all around the country, and I think that is just a wonderful story to be able to tell.
Thank you, Gwen. It's so nice to see where all of that support is coming from. That's wonderful. It's now my pleasure and honor to introduce the Waltham Family School Program Coordinator, Jackie Herrera. Jackie was born in El Salvador and is a first-generation high school and college graduate. She was raised in California and moved to Boston area in 2000. She and her husband both love Waltham because this is where he was born and it's where she began her professional career. Jackie first became aware of the Waltham Family School over 15 years ago as an early intervention social worker. Through the years, she's referred many families to the school and has developed wonderful relationships with the Waltham Family School staff. But don't take my word for it. Here's Jackie Herrera.
You're muted, Jackie. Jackie, you have to unmute. There you go.
Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Well, good evening, everyone, and friends of the Waltham Family School. I am very happy to be here this evening and honored to be a part of the Waltham Family School family. The past few months have been busy, yet wonderful. I was eager for September to arrive and for staff to join me and bring some noise and cheer into the building. Therefore, I wasn't all alone in the building. Before sharing my thoughts and update on the Waltham Family School, I wanted to share a little bit more about myself, who I am, and why I am here. Last month, she turned 85 years old. Although I was not by her side to celebrate in Utah, I saw pictures of her smiling and blowing out the candles. This woman is my beautiful grandmother, and her name is Maria Luz Escobar. By lineage, she's my grandmother, but in life, she is my mother. She raised my brothers and I as a single grandmother since my mother was only 16 when I was born. She worked very hard as a house cleaner, and during school vacations, I joined her and helped her clean. I looked forward to helping her because I knew she would compensate me for my work. And as a child, this was very exciting. Because of her, I am here today. The values, morals, and principles she taught and modeled in her behavior are an integral part of who I am today. Due to her work schedule, she was never able to attend any school events, but this did not mean she was not teaching me at home the value and importance of education. She reminded me almost daily that school came before anything else, and that she would support me 1,000% in any of my educational endeavors. In college, I had to ask her to stop sending me surprise money because I knew how much she was sacrificing to do so. And I knew how hard she worked to earn this money. Her response to me was, "It makes me happy to contribute to your education. This was sacred money for me. Therefore, it was spent with care." I often wonder how my grandmother's life would have been different if a program like the Waltham Family School would have been available to her. Would her burdens have felt lighter, and would she have found comfort in the friendships and resources found there? I really think her life would have been different. This is why I am here today. I want to play a role in bringing families the programs and resources that value their identities and provide them with the tools and support needed to be successful in a new country and in their quest for their child's educational success. To begin, let me share some general information about our Waltham Family School families this year. This year, we have 31 families, 21 new and 10 returning families. We continue to have a wait list and look forward to reaching these families next year. Between our 31 families, there is a total of almost 70 children. 16 of them attend our preschool, while the remainder attend one of the following schools: Head Start in Waltham, the Early Childhood Special Ed program, several Waltham elementary schools, and Waltham Middle and High School. Our families come from the beautiful countries of Morocco, Mexico, El Salvador, Haiti, Honduras, and Guatemala. They also bring with them their native languages of Arabic, Haitian Creole, and Spanish. I am now eager to begin sharing some of the wonderful happenings taking place at Waltham Family School this year. The pandemic kept us from welcoming families into the school last year. Therefore, the first day of school this year was very special. It was nice to see the families walking in and seeing their smiles and excitement. Some were wearing a nice outfit to celebrate the day, while others were holding their new backpacks. The children were also smiling and ready to get to classroom. Our ESL and preschool teachers did a wonderful job decorating their classrooms and making them feel beautiful and welcoming for everyone. This year, thanks to a generous donation, we have been able to hire Laura Gomez Maquiavelo, an early childhood mental health clinician. We have partnered with Jewish Family and Children's Services with the goal of providing parents, children, and staff support and guidance related to mental health and social emotional development. In such a short time, Laura has developed relationships with our staff and families and has already gained the trust of many parents at the school. In addition, she has connected families to resources and met with some parents individually to provide a listening ear and offer her guidance and support. We are very lucky to have her and look forward to our families seeing Waltham Family School as a place of refuge and trust. Our Waltham Family School family has also grown this year, and I am happy to introduce to you Sandra Arcis, our new program support assistant. She is from Chile, is fully bilingual, and is a parent to a Waltham Public School alum who graduated last year. She knows the challenges faced by our families, and we will be of great support to our parents. Jessica Aguilar is our preschool teacher. Jessica comes to us with over 15 years of experience as a preschool teacher. She is fully bilingual and was born and raised in Waltham. Her family is from El Salvador, and she is a first-generation student, high school graduate, and is sensitive to the needs of our families. Diana Argueta, our preschool assistant. Diana is from Guatemala and a Waltham Family School alumna. Diana was a preschool teacher in Guatemala and was eager to continue her passion of teaching. Her personal experiences as a former Waltham Family School participant allow her to fully understand and give back to Waltham Family School families. While the remainder of our staff are not new, I would like to let you all know that we have an amazing team and are grateful for the strengths and talents that each person brings to the school. Thank you, Susana, Julie, Jerry, Michelle, and Meg for continuing to be a part of the Waltham Family School and for welcoming myself and our new staff members. Another great happening at Waltham Family School was our Chromebook Day. Every student expressed their excitement and gratitude for the Chromebooks, headsets, and backpacks they were gifted. They created their own name tags for the backpacks and are on their way to becoming Chromebook experts. In the short amount of time that they have had the Chromebooks, they have already learned how to send an email and connect to the internet. They are also using the Chromebooks for their individual English learning time. The following quote by Dr. Anthony Mohammed reminds me of the significance behind this Chromebook project. Equity can never become a reality in education if it's viewed as charity instead of professional obligation. I feel honored to know that this project has always been viewed as a professional obligation to our families because we know they deserve this just as much as every other student across the country. Our preschool is off and running. The children are learning and adjusting very well. Meg, Jessica, and Diana are doing a wonderful job helping the children feel comfortable and providing a variety of learning opportunities for them. The children are developing friendships and feeling comfortable in the classroom. If you walk the halls of Waltham Family School, the walls are beautifully decorated with the children's art. You can see collages, paintings, self-portraits, cut and paste art, and other wonderful creations. The children light up the school, and it's so much fun to see them walk in every morning. Every year, Waltham Family School welcomes many volunteers. Unfortunately, COVID continues to impact all aspects of our programming, especially the number of volunteers we can have in the school. We are saddened by this, yet we are also happy to welcome a handful of volunteers from Brandeis, Bentley, and the community who have been coming in weekly and helping in the preschool. We continue to stay hopeful that we can welcome more community members soon. One final happening that I wanted to share today is the library field trips. Both English classes took a field trip to the library a few weeks ago and had a wonderful time. When I saw the pictures that were taken that day, I was almost in tears seeing the excitement on their faces. It has also been wonderful for Waltham Family School and our parents to develop close relationships with staff at the library, therefore allowing our families to feel comfortable and safe when they attend on their own. Both classes have already planned a second field trip, which we know will be another success and fun visit for everyone. I would like to now share a story with you, which exemplifies why our mission statement guides our daily work. Our mission statement reads, "The mission of the Waltham Family School is to provide educational opportunities for Waltham families learning English, which prepare the children for success in school, empower the parents to be partners with the schools in the education of their children, and strengthen the parents' skills necessary for parenting, workforce, and community life." The final line talks about parents developing and strengthening their skills in order to feel empowered and ready to face the challenges they will face in the future. This is where my story comes in. One of our students this year came to registration and informed us that she would be taking an Uber to and from school every morning. This mother was so committed to attending Waltham Family School that she had not processed the monetary burden that taking an Uber would place on her family. After discussing this, we discussed potentially taking the bus in order to minimize the cost. She went ahead to tell me she had never taken a bus before and felt like she would need help figuring it out. We immediately connected her to a Waltham Family School alumna who very willingly called her and explained to her the details she needed to take the bus. This mother also met her in person to do a trial run and joined her on her first bus trip. This new mother now takes the bus to and from school every day. This is such a beautiful story about overcoming challenges and in the process learning something new and seeing the kindness of others. Oprah Winfrey states, "Education is the way to move mountains, to build bridges, to change the world." The simple action of learning something new, like taking the bus, will be the way this mother will now move mountains for her and her children. And in the process, she is building bridges of friendship with those around her who support her, bridges of knowledge by attending school, and bridges of hope as she learns to navigate her community. And she will change the world because of the influence her and her children will have in their school and community. I have shared with you the many wonderful happenings at Waltham Family School, but I cannot forget to mention that COVID continues to have an impact on our school and families. We are continuing to see the hardships attached to COVID, such as missing school due to a COVID diagnosis, difficulty finding housing, food insecurities, and help in finding community resources. We continue to share with our families our concern for them and connecting them to the many resources in the community. We have also made it a priority to provide a safe and trusting environment where families can find refuge and feel safe and hopeful. While COVID continues to present us with various challenges, we continue to be hopeful, and our vision for the future is bright. I envision Waltham Family School growing as we set our goal of reaching more families by adding programming in the evenings, collaborating with other agencies to bring resources to families, and providing leadership opportunities for parents. My goal is to see parents in our community leading and facilitating parenting groups and discussions and being mentors to new families in the community. There is much power and growth when we learn from each other and when we share similar life experiences and challenges. We also hope to continue to provide our young children with a rich learning environment and unique experiences, We will continue to advocate for the resources that are needed in the classroom and access to learning opportunities in the Waltham community. I dream of the day when universal preschool is a reality and all children, regardless of race and socioeconomic status, have access to preschool, and the day when the barriers cease to exist and our children can partake of the many wonderful learning opportunities in their communities. In my office, I have displayed the following quote by Sonia Sotomayor, one of my heroes. Until we get equality in education, we won't have an equal society. While I cannot do this alone, I can ask everyone here this evening to join me in this cause. Please join me in supporting the Waltham Family School and its mission. Please join me in supporting all organizations whose goal is to bring equality to education. Let's use our talents and our voices to advocate for change that will provide all families equal access to a variety of educational experiences within and outside of our schools. I hope we can all leave this evening feeling inspired and eager to join forces and do what is necessary for our immigrant families to feel accepted, cared for, and valued. They bring an immense richness to our schools and communities. Join me in embracing this richness and in providing these wonderful families a platform to shine and excel in Waltham, their new home away from home. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. That was wonderful. The Friends are very excited to be working with you to accomplish your vision of equality in education. Next, we'd like to share a video about a recent Waltham Family School graduate, Ghislaine.
Hello,
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. You?
I'm good.
What is your name?
My name is Ghislaine. And you?
My name is Doris. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Doris.
Thank you. Tell me about your family.
I live with my family, my husband, my 2 children, and my mother. He's 8 years old. She is at the elementary school, MacArthur Douglas. The second is Lucas. He is 4 years old. He's at the preschool Waltham Family School. The younger, she is a baby. She will be 2 next month. Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Haiti.
Haiti?
Yes.
How did you find the Waltham Family School?
I found the Waltham Family School about a friend. He talked to me about this school. He told me it's a good school. I can learn very well. We have the good people at the school. But now I told him I'm interested. I want to come at the school.
You think it's a good school?
Yeah, it's a good school, but we learn, we have people, we have the good teacher, but it's a family. It's a family.
Great.
Yeah.
Why did you come to Waltham Family School?
I come to Waltham Family School because I want to learn English. English is the first language in America, but it's an obligation for me. And I come for my son because my son wants to go in preschool. Okay. What the reason I come to Waltham Family School.
Okay. What other language do you speak?
I speak Asian Creole. I speak French. I speak a little English too.
3 languages.
Yes, 3 languages, maybe. Yeah.
That's good. What do you like to do with your family in the weekend?
In the weekend, sometimes we go to church together. We go to shopping and play outside. Sometimes we read with the children.
Okay. Thank you for sharing with me for this conversation.
Yes, thank you too. Are you pregnant?
Yes, I'm pregnant.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. We talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
What a great video. You can learn more about Ghislaine and her family in the appeal this fall. So look for an email or letter within the next week. And now is the time to open up the Q&A portion of this meeting. So we welcome you to enter any questions you have in the chat or come off of mute to ask us any questions. Both Jackie and members of the board are here and available to answer any questions that you have.
Well, while we wait for people to write or type up a question or comment, I was wondering, Jackie, if you would mind sharing a little bit more about with us, why the Waltham Family School felt that a bilingual social worker or mental health clinician was a priority for the program.
I think during the past, for many years, many of our families have been dealing with many difficult issues that immigrant families face. And in addition to that, a lot of personal hardships and difficulties. And it was very difficult for the staff at the school to both provide the learning environment and also provide the social emotional support. Having said that, they did provide it. You know, families felt that Waltham Family School was a safe place, but it was also a priority to find the right person that could also really help the families with what they really needed and really have the skills to provide, you know, the families with the support and the structure and the guidance that they needed. And above all else, I think to really have someone with a listening ear that would really not only validate how they were feeling, but advocate for them at every level. And so I think that's why it was just such a great priority, because our families need us in so many different ways.
That's wonderful. Thank you. And I'm wondering if Tracy or Tom, you could talk a little bit about what the Friends are doing as far as ensuring sustainability and help support the growth of the program.
Want to go, Tracy? Do you want me to go? Want a tag team?
Want to start and I'll join you?
One of the things that happened in the Friends organization was that we went through some strategic planning about 2 years ago and came up with a subcommittee structure. So that now there's a development subcommittee and a governance subcommittee and also a finance subcommittee, and working together to figure out sort of how do we make sure that in years to come, as you know, financial things go up and down, that we're in a place where we can weather those things. And the finance team has really worked hard on a financial sustainability plan, and feel like you know, the downside of the pandemic was that the school was so much less last year in terms of numbers, but a lot of money was able to be put away. And so we have some money in the bank, and feel like we're in a position to think about how we continue to grow and expand and meet continuing changing needs.
Нет, мьют это значит, что тебя не слышно микрофон и все.
Thank you, Tom. That was really well said. I do think it's important to remind everyone that we're committed to working with donors and building and investing in the reserve that we have. And we're always thankful for the partnership with Waltham Public Schools, and we'll continue to work with them going forward. I would say more, but we have a question in the chat that I think is important to address. So the question reads, are there any resources for graduates of the school? I've been remotely teaching English to 2 women who graduated last year, and sometimes they have issues related to how to handle education of their kids, getting green cards, etc. Is there anyone they can talk to at the Waltham Family School, or could you refer them to other agencies? Jackie, would you like to field this one?
Yes. I think something I would love for everyone to know is that our doors are always open for everyone in our community, and especially to our alumni. So I would recommend that she come see us, and we can definitely help her with the issues related to the education of her children. And if we can't help her, we can definitely help her make the connections with those in the school district that they need to connect with, and we will facilitate and help them do that. So we won't leave them alone in that process. We will walk them through everything they need. In terms of a green card and other concerns that parents may have, we are more than happy to connect them to the right resources in the community. Some of those things we don't have the expertise to handle, but between Laura, myself, and everyone else in our staff, we are more than happy to make those connections to the right resources in the community with any other concern. So please send the families our way, and we're more than happy to guide them and take them to the right place.
Do we have any other questions? One question we had recently was, what other non-monetary needs do we have at the Waltham Family School? And I think we're going to address some of that coming up in this section very shortly too. Any other questions? There's a question regarding scholarships and how it will be allocated.
I'm happy to address that. There's the scholarship committee task force. Sorry, I'm blanking on what we're calling it, but we're starting a group. And do you want to correct me?
Sure, it's the scholarship task force.
Thank you. So the scholarship task force will be established, and all of you are welcome, or if you're interested, to join us, to reaching out to us. But that will be the work of that group of board members, advisory council members, and interested parties to make those decisions. I don't know that I have a better answer for you then, other than that, but we're hoping to get that off the ground and running as soon as possible. So stay tuned for more information. Another, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ann. The next question. So Connie has a great question. What overall effect has the pandemic had on the Waltham Family School families? I think, Jackie, you may be the best person to respond to this, but I think all of us have been hearing stories over the years and over the past year. And I can tell you, like all of us, it's had a profound effect on Waltham Family School families. But Jackie, I'll let you dig in.
Yes, and we continue to see that. I mean, part of it is really so much stress related to wondering if you're sick, missing school, getting tests, not having immediate access to even testing sites. Their own children missing 1-2 days of school while they get a test. And so I think that's beginning to really worry our families, is really the amount of school that children continue to miss based on really accessing and making sure they don't have COVID, accessing tests. We continue to see a need for resources and guiding our families to our local pantries, to all the local resources in the community. Housing continues to be a concern for some of them, and really finding new apartments or finding new places to go that are affordable for them. And so, like we said before, we continue to work closely with Watch, with Healthy Waltham, with all these organizations that are providing these lifelines of support for our families. And then I would also say, I think emotionally, our families, just like us, are carrying that burden of not being able to see their families, the holidays coming up, not being able to spend time, trying to follow the guidelines, continuing to stay safe because they can't miss work, and everything gets impacted by COVID. And so I believe that the things that they were facing last year, they're continuing to face this year. So we're continuing to provide them with as many resources and support that we can.
Jackie, we have another question from Rebecca about what are the projections for growth for the next 5 years? And are you planning on taking on more families every year? And I think this
If
question
you're
is-
asking me,
yeah, right.
I would grow every year and I would take all the families. But as you know, as Dr. Regan, our superintendent, mentioned, we're a little bit tied by the spacing that we have. And so we physically cannot grow at this point because we don't have any room to grow into. But we definitely, I know that we have spoken that we would love to see us grow in the future, hopefully have a second classroom, hopefully have a third adult classroom like we used to have. So that is in our, we would love to have that now and even next year. But as soon as the district, you know, moves different pieces that need to move in order for us to have more room, we're a little limited by that space. But we are hopeful. I know that everyone in Waltham, including our superintendent, is in great support of us growing and expanding as soon as we have the room to do so. So that is our goal, is to grow and serve more families. And like I mentioned earlier, in addition to growing our preschool and our ESL classes, I really hope to grow more programming in the evenings with the space that we have. I really hope to provide some parenting workshops for our parents to really get access to more tools, become leaders in their community. And so while we won't grow physically, we are hoping to expand some of the programming that can reach the parents in our school, but also more parents in Waltham.
Thank you, Jackie. I just want to close our Q&A, but let everyone know that those are wonderful questions. Encourage you to continue to reach out to the Friends or to the Waltham Family School. If you have more questions as they come to you, we'd be happy to engage with you anytime. So now I would like to introduce Amy Schaefer, who started lending her talents to the Waltham Family School as a volunteer in the preschool class, and then joined the advisory council, and is now on the Waltham Family School board and serves as chair of the development committee. And here she is.
Thanks, Tracy, and hello, everyone. And thank you all so much for all that you do to support the Waltham Family School, including giving us your time tonight for these updates. Your generosity, especially over these past 18 months, has enabled the program to continue to operate and to support our families in so many ways throughout the pandemic. I'd like to talk to you about a few ways you can contribute and get involved, some of which you may already be familiar with, and some are new ways to support the work of the Friends. As Tracy mentioned earlier, our annual appeal will be launching soon and will include more details about Ghislaine and her personal story about her experience at the Waltham Family School. So please watch for the mailing as well as email communications. And for Giving Tuesday, the Friends of the Waltham Family School will join this global giving campaign again this year with our own event on November 30th. So again, keep an eye out for a series of emails and social media posts. You will see on the communications for both of these appeals information about becoming a monthly donor. Monthly donors show their continued commitment to the mission of the program and provide sustainable, unrestricted funds that allow better planning for program needs and initiatives. So please consider becoming a monthly donor and look for the information to sign up on the appeal letter or on our website. In addition to supporting our fundraising efforts, we have a couple of other opportunities for people to get involved. One way is to volunteer at our envelope stuffing event for the annual appeal. So if you're available to lend a hand this Friday the 29th at 9:30 a.m. at the Waltham Family School, please reach out to us by emailing us at friendsofthewfs@gmail.com. We'd love to have you join us. And another way you can directly help our families is by participating in our winter clothing drive. We are compiling a list of needed clothing items, preferably new or very gently used. If you are interested in assisting with this drive, please email again the email address friendsofthewfs@gmail.com, and we'll send you the sign up genius once it's ready to go out. A couple of other quick and easy ways to support the fundraising efforts of the Friends that you may or may not be familiar with are the Facebook fundraisers and the Amazon Smile program. Both of these programs are super easy ways to raise both funds and awareness of the program. So the next time you have a birthday coming up, and if you're a Facebook user, just click on the fundraisers item in the, I think it's in menu under Explore. It shows up in different ways depending on whether you're using your phone or a computer, but it's pretty easy to find fundraisers in one of the menus. And follow the simple steps to create your own WFS fundraiser. Several of us on the board have done it, and it's been a fun and successful way to bring in new funds and new donors. And for Amazon Smile, you shop on Amazon as usual, but you start with smile.amazon.com address and select Friends of the Waltham Family School as the recipient organization, and we will receive a portion of revenues of eligible items. Please let us know if you have any questions or need any assistance with either of these programs. This year, we moved our coffee and conversation to a virtual event and had a really nice turnout. As I think it was Tracy mentioned earlier, we've had to pivot everything to virtual, and coffee and conversation was one of them, and we tried it out. I think people were happy with how it went. Our guests heard updates about the program and heard directly from some of the program participants and what they're working on in the classroom. So we are planning our next virtual coffee and conversation for December 8th at 11 a.m. So mark your calendars, and please register online at walthamfamilyschool.org and be sure to invite a guest to join you, as all are welcome. And also please keep an eye out for other events that we're planning, including a possible fiesta, fingers crossed, for which we aren't yet sure what format it will be. And also be on the lookout for our annual report, which is coming soon via email. So again, on behalf of the Development Committee and the Friends Board, thank you for the many ways you as a community continue to contribute and to support the Waltham Family School. We can't thank you enough. And I'll now hand it back to Tom and Tracy to wrap things up.
Great. Thank you so much, Amy. And thanks again to all of you for joining us tonight, for your support in so many different ways. And we're just so thankful this program is here and going strong. Tracy?
Yes, we can't thank you enough. We encourage all of you to stay in touch. We're more than happy to engage with each and every one of you. You can see the email, phone number, website. Please find ways to reach out to us and let us know how you're doing and what you think about the program. And I think it's just wonderful that we're all here. Thank you very much for taking the time to attend.
Good night, everybody.
Have a nice evening.